Hello fellow learners, I am Heth and I am back again with another video on MATLAB and Octave. First, let me briefly introduce you what we'll learn in this video. So this video is basically about the implementation of a concept that we learned in the previous video. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. So I was gonna start with matrice, loop and manipulation using matrices and loop, but I thought why not make a video about implementation of the concept that we have learned before. And so I have come up with an example that would solve or that would dispel your doubts regarding the previously learned concept, so you know the concept better, you can apply it. So let's head on. So here is an expression uh, where there is an unknown variable x, and we have been told that the value of x is 9. So using PEMDAS, it is how Octave sorts out the expression. PEMDAS, where P stands for parentheses, anything inside parentheses is solved first. Then comes E, exponents, and that would mean any power like square, root, cube, or any power you may put in. It would be solved in the second place. Then would be M and D. They are mostly combined. That means multiplication and division are done simultaneously. Uh, and if there are multiple multiplication and division operators throughout an expression, it would solve it from left to right. Same goes with addition subtraction. They are done simultaneously and they would be solved from left to right if there are multiple operators of addition and subtraction. But addition and subtraction is calculated at the last uh, by after multiplication and division. So PEMDAS. So we'll calculate a handwritten form of uh, calculation in this, like this is the expression that we are expected to calculate where x is equal to 9. So what we do is first we'll solve for parentheses. So in parentheses, we would see that there is a parenthesis into parenthesis. That means there is an outer parenthesis, then there is inner two parentheses where x minus 1 is embedded in 1. So putting x there, we'll see that 9 minus 1 would be calculated at the first, so it would yield 8. Then it would be root over 9, where the parenthesis x would be substituted, and both parentheses would be solved simultaneously. So we see that in this in the first expression, the value of x has been substituted. Then in the second, it was substituted, but in second there are no parentheses or exponent or something, so there won't be any calculation till the third step. So in the second step, 9 minus 1 is calculated already in the parenthesis part, and then it would apply the square, so it would be 64, and then root over 9 would be calculated, that is that it gives 3. So clear, you're pretty much clear now that 64 into 3 by 3 would be solved now again, because you'd be having parentheses again at the outer. 64 into 3 by 3, so 3 by 3 gives 1, and 64 into 1 is the uh, output that Octave would calculate after the up till the second step. Now the multiplication division part. So 64 into 1 would be calculated now, and then division would be calculated. 64 by 4, it gives 16. Now in the second expression, or the second part of a expression, it has a multiplication. So now it would come into picture. So 3 into 9 would be calculated now. So it would be 27 plus 4. Uh, Now the addition subtraction operator would come into picture. So it would be 16 plus 27 plus 4, and it gives 47 as an answer, and that's it. It would be a part that would be doing with hand calculations. So now let's head on to Octave to see whether it gives the same kind of answer or not, because there in the handwritten calculation you might solve 9 plus 4 first and then multiply it with 3, and that would give you a completely different answer. but Octave solves it in a manner that gives a uniform answer in all machines, in whichever Octave or MATLAB is solving this kind of equations because of this PEMDAS rule of calculation. So 47 is the final answer, and don't forget. So now we'll be heading on to Octave to see how we may type in the expression and get an output. That would be and to check whether the answer would be same or not. So let's head on. So this is an Octave window as we have seen before. If you want to know more about it, watch my previous videos. So now we'll be typing in the expression as we have seen. So there's a parenthesis, there's another parenthesis, x minus 1, we'll be having power, we'll be having multiplication symbol, we'll be having sqrt of x by 3, closing the parenthesis, dividing it whole by 4. So before moving on to the second part of our expression, I would like to familiarize you with what is sqrt of x. So sqrt is basically an inbuilt function in Octave or MATLAB, we say, uh, that calculates the root of a expression or a value that you put into the brackets after sqrt. So here we have entered sqrt of x. That means it would calculate the root of x in this equation. So let us see that the brackets are well placed. No, it is not, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 opening brackets and 1, 2, 3, 3 closing brackets. So we'll be having to add one more. Then the second part, 3 into x plus 4 and close, hit enter. You see that you get an error, and that is pretty much obvious because we haven't defined x yet. We haven't told Octave what's the value of x, so we'll be doing it first in any kind of program that we'll be writing further on. But this was a kind of illustration to you to show what if you don't initialize the value, so you'll get an error basically. So first you'll have to initialize it, like for our case it is x equal to 9, so we give x equal to 9 and then hit enter. So you see that in workspace x is assigned a value 9. So now we'll enter the expression, but we won't be writing it over and over again, but we'll just press the up direction key once. So it will give the previous command and it is x equal to 9, but we don't want it, so we'll press it yet again and it will give the expression that we have typed it before. And now let's hit enter. You see that the answer is 47, and it's the same which we have got in the hand calculation. So this was for today, and this was all about how you can how implement the concepts that you have learned. You may try it your own. You can type in any expression that you want, uh, but we won't forget to initialize it first and then give in expression and then find the answers. In the next lecture, I'll talk about matrices, and we'll teach you some manipulation like addition, subtraction, division using matrices, because it's a bit different from what we have learned using single numbers and all. So we'll be seeing it in the next lecture, and till then, be safe and keep watching and keep supporting us by liking our videos, by sharing it with your friends, and by subscribing to our channel.